on that. And then secondarily, it's come out that White House-funded groups, Acorn and others, I mean, here's the actual ad, defend President Obama's health care plan over August recess, $500 a week. Now is your chance to make health care work. Here they are, jobsthatmatter.org, a Democratic-funded group, paying people, and then they got caught. Obama camp plant fake document, and Che Guevara fan at Jackson Lee Forum, and they got caught with this woman who works for this lady right here in the shot, who works with Obama, famously in the photo with her and Che Guevara. And then here she is faking, going to staged questioners, posing as doctors, saying, so even the few people that they go to at their own town halls, it's staged, Ambassador. They've been accusing us of it being staged. They are caught staging it.
Well, see, but this corresponds, and I hope a lot of people, well, maybe a lot of people don't, but one of the standard practices of the old communists, right, in the 20th century, was to accuse their opponents of doing the things that they themselves do routinely. And that's exactly what has been happening here. That particularly is with respect to these staged meetings. In the Soviet Union and Eastern European countries under communism, under these dictators in the Third World, this idea of the staged event where you pretend you got all kinds of public support when you've actually hand-picked people to come out and do show trials, as it were, and show press conferences and all of this, that's standard practice. These people are simply showing themselves to be exactly what they are, a bunch of leftists following the handbook of the communists, trying to impose this system on the people of the United States against our will with lies and staged manipulations of perception and so forth, exactly as Alinsky and others have recommended to the left-wingers that they do. It also, of course, smacks of the tactics that were used during the era of the first National Socialist push, the right-wing National Socialists. We call them Nazis, right? And they had the same kind of approaches for manipulating politics and practiced the same effort to vilify their opponents and to dehumanize them in various ways with name-calling and junk like this, just as these people are now trying to pretend that anybody who looks at this on the basis of the facts, analyzes it in light of the ideology and what it's all about, calls what they're doing socialism. And you've had these people standing up and saying, well, that's racist. That's just a code word for race. What nonsense is this? Do they really think we're that stupid?
Well, I mean, they clearly, Ambassador, and I want your opinion on this, it's cold-blooded. They know. They took all these well-meaning people that voted for Obama, I know a lot of rednecks around here in Texas did, to prove they weren't racist, wanting to have everybody live together in peace, and then now cold-bloodedly these poverty pimps, these Annenberg Foundation people, these Ford Foundation people, knowingly come in and say, if you disagree with cap and trade, if you disagree with his policies on government health care, you are a racist. And I get hundreds of emails a week saying that I'm secretly a white supremacist because we posted the Obama Joker photo saying socialism. I mean, isn't that really the racism, or invoking the racism as divide and conquer cold-bloodedly? Isn't that?
Oh, absolutely. But then, think about it. The whole Obama effort was a cold-blooded invocation of race. Everything about what these people did was a cold-blooded effort to play the race card. And that's what it was all about. And the whole idea that you should vote for somebody not because of the color of their skin, but because of their qualities and characteristics and your agreement with what they were trying to do that was right for the country, that they threw out. And of course, now they want it thrown out because most people look at what he's up to, realize that people like myself were not exaggerating. You had a lot of people said, oh, that's just extremism. You're exaggerating. No, he's not like that. His speeches are so moderate. But that's because, as we're discovering, the man is a pathological liar. I'm sorry. He lies, and he is studied at it. He is skillful at it. He is a shrewd actor, as it were, that turns his whole person and delivery into the lie. But nonetheless, it does not correspond with the truth.
That's what I was going to say is, you live in Illinois, you knew him, and I respect you. I interviewed you for D Magazine back in the mid-90s, interviewed you again on radio many years ago. I respected you and thought that you were right. I just thought, well, Keyes doesn't usually have any rhetoric, but man, is Obama this bad? I mean, I wasn't for Obama, but I remember the speeches you gave and the warnings, and now it's all true. And that's what's concerning me.
This is one of the problems I guess I have in life. I'm dealing with issues right now, whether it's the health care issue, the eligibility issue. People always try to pretend that there's some motive involved. I just try to look at things and call them as I see them. Based on the knowledge and experience that I've had, I try to clearly share with people conclusions that I think make sense. And that's what I tried to do in that case. And the facts were clear. And therefore, I feel that if you're a public person, you have an obligation to share that true understanding as best you can with the people that you're talking to.
Well, since you gave those speeches and talked about him wanting to force abort babies, it's now been confirmed. Let's go over. You know this gentleman. You know who the president really is and who his controllers are. So let us in to your expertise on the other side. Ambassador Keyes is our guest.